folks! Welcome back to Reaper Pro Tips with me, your host, and Disembodied Hands, Quindy, some sort of nebulous Reaper presence in the person of Ron or John or who knows who at this point. And the ever-present Borker, Kiki, who is currently borking at a squirrel out on the side deck. The side patio. Side patio. We don't really have a deck. I was thinking of it as a deck because it feels like one, but it's not. Hi. It's the day before Thanksgiving and my brain is so. So welcome to the day before American Thanksgiving. Tomorrow we get to, well, if you're me, you get to go into the kitchen early and not come out. So yes. Well, it always is, right? Agent Marvel, I always say it's like Disembodied Beard John, but then Ron pops into the chat. So it's some sort of Reaper nebulous presence, really. At this point, they could have just hired a poltergeist. Yeah. Oh no, you came down with something. Well, hey, at least you got to sleep all day though, Korniko. At least if you're sick, if you actually get the time to rest, I always feel like that feels good. Kinda. But yes, I hope you recover soon. Yes. Good. Hey, Arrowwiz. Alrighty. We're doing hi, Turgeon. So Turgeon, I did book stats this morning. I wrote a couple scenes for North of the Wind this morning, just out of order because I had ideas for them. And then I thought, I haven't compared my sales totals to the average, which is, kind of interesting to me always. And I wondered, because the average book sells so few copies, and I'm like, am I above average? Everybody wants to be above average, right? Oh, you wasted a painting day. Oh, it's okay. The Reaper Poltergeist is your favorite Reaper employee. I think there must be one at this point. But yeah, so and it's pretty and these, I think some of these stats, are gotten through surveys. And so you always have to assume there's a ton of people publishing their books who pay no attention to the surveys and don't fill them out. All of them are on self-publishing Reddit. Okay, well, a lot of them are on the self-publishing Reddit. So given that, the fact that 90% of self-published novels sell less than 100 copies, I think there's actually a higher percent than that, just based on what I've seen. It's I'm already ahead of that, and I assume these figures are per year, because that's how most of the companies and organizations that track this sort of thing are usually, they're sending out a survey for the past year, right? So I've definitely sold more than 100 copies of East of the Sun over the past year. My total books sold as of today are 346. Isn't that nice? And I did hit my goal of making over $1,000 from my books from the first year. Yeah, so that's super cool. Thanks to all of you who bought one and read it, or bought one and haven't gotten around to reading it yet. That's okay too. I'll take it. So yeah, and we're not done with the year, and I have a promo landing on the 25th. So if you have any friends who might like the book, but they're waiting for it to be cheaper, East of the Sun will go on sale for 99 cents probably I'll do it either today or tomorrow. I'll run it for a week. The promo hits specifically on the Saturday, but I'll probably leave it at 99 cents for a few days after that. You're in progress. It's all good. And Fontana, thank you for the resub. 50 months. Awesome. So yeah, I was just looking up, it's pretty depressing across the board. As far as for new authors, it's out of the, Nielsen is one of the big ratings companies that tracks this sort of thing for traditional publishing. 1.2 million books published, 950,000 of those sold less than 99 copies. That's traditional published. Those people got book deals. And 80% of them, a little bit more than 80% of them sold less than 99 copies. Yeah, Korniko, I think it depends. You can, the thing is that they will never tell you your borrow number. Kindle never tells you that. They tell you your pages read, right? So, which is kind of a crock. But what most indie authors do, and I didn't count actually Kindle Unlimited reads when I did that 346. But what you do is essentially add up all your pages, your KENP, the number of Kindle pages in your book, and then divide that into the total number of reads, and then you get a rough approximation of how many, borrows. Actually, there probably were more borrows, but since a borrow doesn't pay you at all, it just counts toward your Amazon ranking, but it doesn't give you any money until people actually read. So yeah, so it doesn't include Kindle. I would guess, I don't know, like Kindle, I think I probably have gotten 30 or 40 Kindle Unlimited borrows. Just guessing off I have several months where the Kindle pages read were over 2,000, but they never I never saw them go much higher than that, and most of the time they were lower. So Kindle was not my main market, or Kindle Unlimited was not my main market, which is why I let both books fall out of KU. I'm instead going to push them wide now. So I'm going to actually publish them on Kobo, which is a big EU, Australia market. And then probably Draft to Digital, which gets China and Europe. And then probably there's one, Publish Drive maybe, that hits Africa and South America. So essentially going global. It's not going to be it's going to be a trickle. Like, when you go wide, Amazon is still the main bookseller in the world. But it gives people in other countries the opportunity to discover your book, though, easier. So, and there's one big promo site that really, it probably isn't going to take you if you're only Amazon. It won't give you an ad slot if you're only Amazon. So, hi, Kiki. Are you ready to come up and say hi to the stream? Hold on. Let me get my knees across here. All right. Are you ready? Do you want to come up? Come up, say hi. Yay! Kiki says hi, everybody. Kiki was ready for her cameo. Kiki was ready for her cameo. Yes, on Friday you get to go take a hike with us, Bubba. Get to meet the CrossFit folks. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Good girl. Good girl. Yay, okay. Good girl. Work, work. Boop. Yeah, to work. Yay. But yeah, so I'm pretty happy with my books sold. I think, considering my books have only been out, at the end of this year, my books will only have been out for 3/4 of a year, and we're already exceeding expectations. So that's good. Good. Makes me happy, excited for next year. When North of the Wind and probably South of the Stars are going to come out. It really just does depend. I'm learning, this whole process is just learning how I prioritize and how I work now that I have a new book in progress. Because I do take a lot of thinking time when I'm writing a book. All right, let's do, I think, I had been thinking about, you guys all know I'd been thinking about doing some flames on Ed. I just was unsure how it would look without a dark background. I'm still thinking about that. I thought about fading the bottom of this into black too. But the problem with freehand in general on Tom Meyer, when Tom Meyer sculpts cloth, he doesn't give you broad folds. He gives you these little crinkly folds. And doing freehand on those is just nyeh. Just does not work. All right, so let us do some bling on Ed. Let's maybe do that. I think I want to block in the soil as well. And I want to, let's see what we can do here. I'm just going to go around and bounce around on the model today, I think. I could maybe, it might be possible. Yeah, see, everything's really crinkly back here, too. This is the issue when you try to do freehand back here. But I might try to do the Reaper skull back here. As I think doing the Reaper skull on the back is far more likely than me doing flames on the front, just because these little tiny folds are going to make it so hard. Yeah, we could do a fiery border down here. Although again, we've got wider spaces though. We've got a bit more room. That's the thing. You don't want to put freehand on something some things are sculpted so that freehand is just not optimal. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's just too. Hey, Bagger. Oh, nice. Hey, it's always nice when you get a Christmas gift for yourself. Mine are coming next week. That's my new weight set. I can't wait. Wait. Actually, when you've got a very crinkly thing, what you usually want to do is do a very small repetitive pattern, Agent Marvel. Doing a bigger thing can hurt you because whenever the cape like dips behind, like where you've got a big fold here, that's going to disrupt the pattern. So the best capes for freehand and cloth for freehand is much smoother cloth than this. The only reason I might be able to get away with it up here is that there's only one deep fold here and it'll impact like the spine of the skull, but I could probably get at least the skull and then a bit of spine on either side without getting a lot of disruption because these are more shallow folds. It still would be dicey because it's going to make it the image wobble, right? Because as I'm painting it, it's going to go in and out of creases. That's the thing. I don't like doing freehand on Tom Meyer cloth because of this, because there's so many little details already that it's already interesting and it's hard to do a freehand. Yeah, if he, I mean, I could maybe do a pentagram if it was bigger. I will be getting Reaper's order. My Reaper order still isn't come, so I will be getting bigger base, slightly bigger base for him that we will be able to expand on. So maybe we could do a pentagram. Current eco. You should know better than that. Wild birds are wild birds. Just because you want a Hogwarts owl. All right, I'm going to block in some gold while I think about what I want to do with the rest of this. But yeah, the type of thing, actually, this actually goes naturally into my my other thing. So I'm working on my PDF for the $10 tier for my Patreon today. I've been working on it all week. And it's about translating a pattern from real life art or sculpture into freehand on a model. And I've done it for big models before, but I haven't ever done it for a 28. So I decided to do it for a 28 on this one. And we're doing Polynesian. So essentially this is still from my stuff from Hawaii. So starting with this, and it went to this. So you can see the origination of it and how I'm still pulling on those influences, but that I also have taken and extrapolated it. So this will be the $10 PDF for the month, is how I did that, step by step. But this is the kind of cloth that freehand, and even so, I did an asymmetric pattern on this, which I really wanted to because the cape is asymmetric. And this model, just the dynamism of it, really works with asymmetry. So I decided to do asymmetric. I've still got to refine the shapes a lot, but yeah, so this is the kind, you see the smooth cloth that Christine does. That's where you want to do freehand because your freehand will show up, right? It'll look exactly how you want it to look. So that's why this is not optimal for freehand. Now, what this does do for you, this crinkly cloth, is that it does make it a more interesting surface in general. You can do a lot with highlights and shadows. Like this looks nice down here. It's cool. Yes. Yeah, thanks, guys. I'm glad you like the freehand. Yeah, I've been wanting to do a Polynesian one for a while. There were so many cool. That one I think is from the Bishop Museum, which is kind of the Hawaii History and Culture Museum. It comes from a much bigger thingy that looks like, hold on, the whole idol looks like this. And the part that I took is a very small part from there. And this is just like kind of what you do when you see a design you like. You don't do the whole thing. You look at subjects with the eye toward what part of this could I take? You know, what part of this would work? Instant gratification takes too long. There we go. Alrighty. I'm just going to block in some of this. I want to also do his cuffs in bone color. So I'm going to create a bone color quick from this rich leather by adding pure white. Yeah, I mentioned this yesterday, but when I realized that if I bought Christine's stuff on my mini factory, I could print it out bigger, like my brain imploded a little bit, and yeah, we're doing that. I told David that, and he's like, well, you could really print out an unlimited number of them, and I'm like, you're not helping. But yeah, the temptation to get those, I love the wood elves especially, and the temptation to get those and print them out bigger. Because so much of her stuff is smooth, like most people wouldn't want to do it because her stuff is so smooth. So when you print that out bigger, like the benefit is you can do texture. But a lot of people would kind of shy away from doing that much texture. But I wouldn't because I love texture. So yeah, just kind of thinking I'm going to do that. Yeah, I wouldn't want to do like too many Pendrake. There's still the thing. There's a definite thing where when you paint the same model too many times, you just lose room for it, right? But I could definitely work on a small version of this hair and a big version, right? I think she is not. I don't think she's available on there. I don't remember if Prism is on there or not. But like I could do a regular size version, do it for my Patreon, and then I could do the bigger version for myself, right? And that would be super fun. All right, I think I'm going to add just a tiny bit. So when you add white to rich leather, it comes up with a very nice yellowy bone color. And this is essentially an equivalent for Artist's Raw Sienna. So rich leather, raw sienna, same rough color. I use it the same way to build skin tones and everything. And I use it as a ground for NMM Gold. I'm going to put just a little bit of my brown liner in here, though. That's going to darken it a lot. Although not as much as doing something like walnut because the black is not as concentrated. So this will gray it out a little bit. I might need to add a little bit more white after this. It's going to take the yellow down. It might green it out a little, and we've got to watch for that. Because when you're adding black to anything with a lot of yellow, you're going to go green, and you may need to toss some red in there to counter it. And thank you for the raid, Luca. Well, right, Pendrake. That's why you have to watch it. Because when it's not scaled for big, then you'll get a lot of weird big cuts on the model, right? And so you have to really look at it and you have to imagine. And this is why I would never go up to 75 with these, Pendrake. Like when I say bigger, I'm saying more like I want 40 mil, right? I want 40 millimeters. More than 28, 30. I want another 10 millimeters on there. I think it's going to be cooler. And that's not going to really affect much, in my opinion, unless you're looking at a sculpt that's very chunky already. But I should be able to work most of Moonlight Mini's sculpts in 40 mil. So working on our Ed tribute piece, guys. Pacas, you probably all know that Ed passed away. Our CEO passed away last year, actually just around this time, just after Thanksgiving. So we're working on our Ed tribute today, and I'm mixing up a bone color. We're doing it very Technicolor because Ed loved that. And we're doing his favorite colors, black and red, because that's the color his race car was, his Camaro. All right, so when I mix this up, it does go gray, but it's not going green, actually. It's warm enough. Actually, this is a great ground color for bone. So this was probably a good big couple of brushfuls or drops of rich leather, plus pure white, plus one drop of the brown liner. And that gives us a grayed out brown color, which is a good color for bone to start with. You can always glaze to make your own bone yellower if you want it. I tend to like to start with a more grayish color, more dusty, old, aged bone, rotting bone feel. I just like that aesthetic. But you could go really any way you want. Let me grab yeah, okay. So I want to make a couple things bone here. I want to make his little Reaper skull bone. His little necklace. Although I don't know if this is dark enough. This is the thing. Remember how when you have a very small area on the figure and you try to put a lighter color on it and it washes out completely and still looks white? This is what we have happening here. So what it says is, what it's telling me is, if I want this skull amulet to look like bone, I need to actually shade it more extremely than I'm doing now, because right now it's just going to look like an off-white. Even as dark as I made that color, it's still not enough. Because when you get very tiny, you have to accentuate the contrast, or it's just not going to read. But that's fine. I'll still base coat it. The chain is going to be gold. I'm looking around for other things I might want to make bone other than skeleton dudes. Skeleton dudes obviously need to be bone. So what I'll likely do is I'll base with this on these guys, and then I'll take some brown liner and I'll just use that thinned down to shade. But this is still, see, on a bigger surface, this is a really good bone color. It's just on the tiny things, so it's just not showing up. So let's get our little skelly here. Oh, I think that's dirt. I accidentally painted the dirt. Oh well. I have his little hands coming out. But yeah. Trying to think about the other cool like publishing info I dragged out. Out of like the 1.2 million traditionally published books, less than 200,000 sold fewer than 1,000 copies. Like, it's bestseller. There's so few bestsellers, and it's amazing how poorly so many books do. And this is by a publishing industry that's, you know, trying to pick bestsellers, right? Like, when you submit to an agent, that agent is gambling that they can sell your book to a publisher who is willing to gamble that it will sell. Hopefully sell really well. But nobody really knows, or seems to know, you know, what that magic is that makes a book sell a zillion copies. All right, so we've got that bone blocked in. I am going to grab this guy and get a base coat on him. Then we're going to... What do you think for the staff, guys? I don't think I should make it black. I'm thinking I'll highlight it with the brown or a bone color, but I think maybe I have to go with a dark brown on this one. I'm going to need to highlight to make it come out against the back here to make it stand out for sure. So it probably does have to be a bit lighter. So maybe we'll make it a wood color, but maybe we'll highlight with a bit of the washed out bone color. So let's stick this little guy here up against the sticky tack so that I can... Ooh, he's definitely taken a blow to the head. His eyes are uneven. It's the mold line, but it's so funny. Yeah, driftwood brown would be a pretty good color to highlight with. Driftwood brown also is very close to the color I've mixed, and it also makes a pretty good starting color for bone if you want a warmer ivory bone tatar. Oh, since the alpacas are here, I'll show you guys the freehand I did for my Patreon. This is kind of a Polynesian style freehand that I did. I'm working on. I'll be filling it in with colors later today and finishing my writing of the PDF. But I'm very happy with it, so I like to show it off. So this guy's wearing a little chainmail coif, so his side of his head isn't really showing. Thank you. Yeah, I like freehand. I had fun, and I like that model too. Moonlight Mini stuff is fun. Fun to paint. Yay! So I'm pretty much ignoring my zenith here. Mostly I wanted the details to stand out, and wanted to use it specifically for like the reds on this guy, but down here on the bone, not as important. Yeah, the tissue effect, right? Yeah, yeah. This is a Dark Sword model that was gifted to Reaper. It's by Dark Swords by Tom Meyer. I don't like the hanky. It's supposed to be a spell effect, I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. Honestly, I could cut it off. I think that almost like cutting it off and doing something different, or just leaving it where he's raising the skeletons, because this guy goes out in front, right? So that guy goes out in front. So just having his hand pulling the skeletons up is probably good enough, or extending the magic a little bit and making it more magic and less hanky. Yeah, the cape is definitely, it's the sculpt that makes it like kind of look crinkly like that. Tom Meyer does cloth like that. I'm of two minds about it. It makes it look very, very interesting when you highlight it, but at the same time, it's a pain in the butt to do freehand on it, and that means I don't do freehand on it typically. Sit, stay. Okay, he's got a shoulder pad on the other side. He's got a rib cage I need to deal with. Yeah, right. I think it's supposed to be, it looks like a tissue. Like, it looks like he's waving a hanky at Bon Voyage at his skeletons, right? But it's, I think it's supposed to be magic. It's just that when you're casting in metal, because these are metal, if you do a full spell effect, you're essentially charging your audience, you know, like lots of extra dollars for that big spell effect. It's the downside of working in metal, right? I do like this little skeleton, how he's half armored. It's cool. Oh, you want me to do more green stuff videos, Polly? For the YouTube? I really thought the last green stuff video worked out really well. I really enjoyed it. And it pretty much went like to plan. Like everything worked out really well. And as I watched it, I was very happy that the techniques I was demonstrating were really clear. Yeah, it would be better if it was flame. I agree, Pendrake. Yeah, the last one for the llamas, the alpacas who are still in chat, I took the Dungeons and Doggies, Animal Adventures Kraken, who had a nasty mold line over his water that made it look like a hanky, and then another nasty mold line over his tentacle. And I just showed with green stuff how to use green stuff to like just fill in or fill over a mold line when it's in a really hard place to get at with your knife and files and stuff. It worked out really well. I'm really happy with it. It's a good video. It's over on my YouTube, youtube.com/@paintingbig, and you can find me. Oh no, skeleton's falling over. But yeah, I don't know. Does Luca ever do like conversion or green stuff? But he does a lot of commissions, right, on his streams. So I don't know if people hire him to do like a conversion stuff, and if he shows that. Has he ever done green stuff or conversion on his stream? Yeah. That's how I tend to do fire anyway. It looks like that, Pendrake, because I like that effect. Okay, rarely. He uses it for gap fills. Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah, I just don't know. Yeah, I think I'd really need to almost paint everything else and then think about doing it. But it is a lot of work to connect it to these skellies. Like, I'm going to have to, essentially, I'd have to sink a wire. I probably would keep the first part of it and cut off the last. Like, I'd keep that part. Then I would cut off the dangly hanky bits and sink wires into that and have one go down to that skeleton, one to go out to this. But the problem is that takes up an awful lot of time. And it's not directly working on the mini, and it's... Yeah, that's cool. Werner Klock sculpted with nothing but a knife in his fingers, so Luca is following in good footsteps. Like, Werner's sculpting tool was a dulled down X-Acto blade. That's what he used. And he's amazing, so... Alright, let's take this bone color and actually do the sleeves on the model here, where I painted one over. And I did not want to do that. Just trying to get in touch with him about his car insurance. Yes. Oh man. Yeah, exactly. I don't really want to draw this model out a long time. It's a fairly simple model. Kind of want to keep it that way. I'll try to figure out something I could do fairly quickly to make the spell effect more of a spell effect. See if there's anything that I've kind of wanted to do that I haven't tried yet. Uh-oh. Hold on. Okay, nothing urgent. Sorry. Do your, take your allergy pill, Quindy. 1 second, everybody. Allergies have been a challenge for the last couple days since all the rain hit. Alright. Ah! Skeleton's falling over again. It's true, Metalovich. It's actually something that Bob and Julie have mentioned to me before, green users here in the chat, that sometimes Bob just searches under the couch to find weird things and tries to use them as stamps. I think, if anything, what I'd almost rather do, Pendrake, is cut off the raggedy parts, get a skull, kind of sculpt a little bit longer of tendrils, and have them holding a skull and make it glowing. That way we've got a glowing skull in the air, and then I can add a little bit of that, whatever color that energy is, I can add a little bit of it around these skeletons like they are glowing. That would work. I'd rather use a skull, though, I think. I would just need to fish out a skull from my bits somewhere. I'm pretty sure I have an entire, like, old propane bottle of skulls. I might even have them right here next to me. Yes, I do, actually. Reaper skulls, everybody. So, we're going to go on that. So yeah, I think I'd like to do that. I'd like to make this hanky into, like, more, like, cut it off, make a few tendrils coming out that are holding a glowing skull. Alright. Do I have all the bone based? I think I do have all the bone based. Alright. And I want to get this other sleeve, and I want to put more of a solid coat of the bone color on this sleeve. So I thinned it a bit, so now I'm having to put on multiple coats to cover over the red that I accidentally painted on the sleeve over here. It's true walking harder, right? Right? I mean, even before I had that that third of a bottle of Reaper Skulls, I had an old GW skeleton warrior box that I just totally, like, snipped the skulls off of. Just because skulls are useful. Oh, Kerniko, remember the werewolf paladin? I figured out that, you know, that paladin, or that vampire werewolf from, what's it? You know, the one we were ordered, the special edition one that had wings, that I got without wings. I've decided that that is actually a werewolf paladin. I'm going to paint it like a good guy. Just for you. Okay, for me too. Because he actually only has skulls on him a couple of places. And skulls are not necessarily evil, but most of him is not, like, skull-laden. So I could totally paint him as a good guy werewolf paladin, and it would be super fun. I just have to decide if you go with the traditional gold and white, and I know it's going to be gold and white, but gold and white and blue or gold and white and red. I kind of am thinking gold and white and red, but I'm not sure on that yet. I do love painting red. Could also go gold, white, purple, but I do that a lot, and I'm kind of shying away from that. They're obviously the skulls of bad people, yes. Yeah, I do remember that now that you mention it, Sir Gambit, that they do sell a box of skulls. Hey, Roger. Okay. Now I want gold. But yeah, who's that? Why can I not remember the model? The people who made it. Help. Who put it out? Help me. Who put it out? Gold, white, red? Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Freaking heck. Why can I not? Black. Is it Black Crow? No. Yes? As soon as you said it, the name evacuated your brain. I think? I don't remember. Alright, so I'm just painting on a base color. And again, you can't really see that it's gold because you can just see it's a little darker there, the chain. It is a chain, or I would consider making it a different color that would be easier, but we're going to make it gold, so. But yeah, I figure werewolf, then Carnico can have her werewolf paladin, and the minute I thought about recasting him or painting him as a good guy, I got excited to paint him because I was sitting there looking at him, and as a evil, like, vampiric werewolf dude, I was just like, well, it's a beautiful sculpt, but I need more than that to get excited about a model. It needs to be more than a beautiful sculpt. I have to have an inkling of the character that I want to paint. I need a person to paint. I can't just paint just any old werewolf evil dude. Like, doesn't work for me. And this has a lot. We're going to do this all in gold, I think, around the belt. Oh, yeah. Interesting. I'll have to look at that Green Stuff World one. Yes, they gave him a name, because they always give him a name. Is it Black Crow? Or not Black Crow. Or, you know what I'm talking about. Is it? I don't know. Man, my brain, I tell you. Today, my brain is just not. Like, my brain needs to be on tomorrow when it has to, like, cook a ton of different things. And it's like my brain just decided that today it was taking off. Oh, Lordy. My brain was like, you don't need me today. I'll take a vacation. It's like, but wait. So just putting, again, I over-thinned, so I'm putting a more solid coat of a grounding that'll be gold. I'm also kind of using this to determine if my balance of, if this gold is going to overbalance stuff, but I think it'll be okay with the amulet here and his lighter skin tone. The book has a pentagram on it. I think I'm going to make around it. I'm going to do the pentagram there, but I'll make it black, that circle around it black, and then we'll do gold corners. That's Reaper's product catalog, of course. Much to the banishment. Hera models. Thank you! Thank you, Quindy. Thank you. Oh, oof. Yeah, that werewolf they just put out. Yeah, that guy. I want to paint him as a paladin. It'll be awesome. There's no reason that you can't have a werewolf paladin out there. Right, Kiki? Right? I hear clicky paws. I hear you. You just wondering what I'm talking about? You heard werewolf and you thought it was you? You better not be a werewolf. If she had opposable thumbs, the world would be in danger. Oscar, yes. Oscar the werewolf. Yeah, their shop is weird. Yep. Ah! I'm just going to drop things. It is just yet another sign that my brain is, like, not engaged. I totally need to... my to-do list today, like, the starting to-do list is, like, I need to haul that chicken, because I'm making a chicken instead of a turkey, because it's just David and I. Haul my chicken out and totally salt the heck out of it to prepare it for tomorrow. Dry brine time. And one of my favorite food authors, her description of how much salt you should apply to the chicken to dry brine it, you know, the day before you cook it, is like the chicken should look like it's been hit by a snowstorm, is how she describes it. Yep. Yeah, tomorrow is Thanksgiving. So I will be in the kitchen nonstop tomorrow from morning to evening, Tatar. Yeah, I think it'll be fun, Quindy. I think it'll be fun. He'll be a good werewolf. I like good werewolves. Good boy. He'll be the goodest boy. All right. The nice thing about doing NMM for this tiny little skull up here is that it's going to let us hopefully bring out the features on that. Because the pinpoint highlights will work well for that. Yeah, Paladin Werewolf. Someday, Kerniko. No promises as to when. Someday, the Paladin Werewolf romance will come to be. You like the brooding, moody types, don't you? Do I need to make him a brooding, moody werewolf? Seems very trope, very trope. In a salt solution. Yeah, most turkeys these days do. They don't expect you to do the extra work, but there, I'm just very carefully painting around all this stuff over here with black. Can I make comedy though? Can I make him brooding and moody about the fact that he has a terrible kitchen and he really wants a new one? Oh, okay. Maybe I'm whimsical today. Watch out. Okay. Whoa, 36. Oh, I get to sing. Hold on. All right, Shadow Raven. Triple sub-anniversary. Happy triple sub-anniversary. There you go. And thank you for 36 months. Now I'm getting warm. Singing makes me warm. Yes, totally hype. Yeah, I'm still thinking about doing my cranberry sauce today. The problem is that I still need to cook dinner today because we didn't plan this very well. I have a tri-tip that I have to do because it's getting to the end of its, like, you need to cook this now life. So I'm, like, totally cooking. At least the tri-tip is pretty easy, all things considered, and I can make David do the vegetable. So maybe tonight while I'm fiddling with tri-tip, I'll do the cranberry sauce. And then I'll have it for tomorrow. Alrighty. We got the book kind of outlined there. We need pages. Luckily, the bone color also works for pages. I do like to repeat colors around the model. I feel like it makes everything kind of pull together to do so. So we're repeating our bone color. We're repeating, that's a little pouch, so that whatever this brown is, that'll be brown. And I'll work some of those browns into the soil. I need to be a little more careful with this. Yeah, I'm out of leftovers. Well, I'm not. I have some beef stew in the freezer out, but that's like our last emergency meal, so I'm not. What I'm pretty much going to do is suck it up and cook like a storm tonight and tomorrow, and then coast all weekend on leftovers. Hopefully we'll have enough chicken. It's a small chicken, and I'm still worried about my small chicken. I'm like, is this going to be enough chicken? Mac and cheese with hot dogs. Oh yeah, small Scottish cat happy. He loves it when I sing. And we haven't had many songs lately because it's like everybody goes in like clumps. All right, there we go. I'm going to get the outside edge of that. Just trying to trim up this book a little bit by lining around it. A lot of times on the Tom Meyer models, there's a lot of fine detail, and lining does help to bring everything out and separate it. And it's funny because his models are not usually overloaded with stuff, but the stuff there is has a lot of detail on it. And the little pentagram. Little pentagram. Yeah, exactly. Kiki wants more chicken. Right. She loves chicken. I think the only thing she loves more than chicken is salmon. Aw. Furry limpet is cute. But yeah, we should have more than enough stuffing and green bean casserole, so we just need to make sure we have enough chickens. I made duck breast last night. It turned out really well. With port wine reduction and roasted potatoes done in the air fryer. I think I actually nailed the potatoes. They were better potatoes than I think I've ever managed before. Because I had the time to soak them, which you really want to do if you want good air fryer potatoes. It's the secret. So I soaked them after I rinsed them in a very salty water, and they were wonderful. I did little wedges instead of fries. Tonight is going to be tri-tip. It's like a burgundy wine and peppercorn tri-tip with I'm going to do roasted sweet potatoes because I'm really kind of craving sweet potato right now. Maybe I'll do sweet potato fries. It's been a while. It's supposed to arrive today, Kriniko. I should check my Amazon and make sure it hasn't been delayed again. Thank you for the cue. Oh, and I also forgot to plug in my phone. That's no good. All right, Amazon, you gonna let me down here? Probably. Let's see. Ah! Yeah, they screwed me. It's now arriving like a week later. It's like, seriously? Seriously. The only good thing about this is I'll have it for Christmas when I'm doing Thanksgiving for Christmas for David's mom. But this means that I'm stuck with inferior glutinous stuffing. Unless I might make a last minute run to Sprouts actually after lunch today and see if they'll come through for me. We don't have a Sprouts. Yeah, I know, right? We don't have a Sprouts near us. I have to go to Sunnyvale to get to it. I hate driving like 15 plus minutes for groceries when I normally only have to drive 5 or walk down the street. So it's like a 20-minute drive to Sprouts. But we need to get pie. And I think Sprouts has really good pies. So I guess part of my day gets thrown into errands that I shouldn't have had to do, but for Amazon. Thanks, Amazon. No thanks. Yeah, I think, isn't quinoa, I forget, quinoa is gluten-free, but it's not, or is it? I don't remember. I think it's gluten-free. I am very much a bread stuffing fan, but mixed stuffings could be appealing. I think it's a UK thing. I'm more likely to, I mean, I might be able to order it online at Whole Foods and run over there. And they have you can just come over and get it. But if I'm going to Whole Foods, I want to go to Whole Foods. The problem with Whole Foods is that I like Sprouts pies better than Whole Foods pies, and they're cheaper too. So, yeah, it's just like, where am I going to waste my time today? Where's my productive time going to be sunk into, right? A time when I should be working on my PDF, and instead I have to go run errands. Quinoa is a grain. It's vegetarian, but it is gluten-free. I do allow myself to have gluten here and there. My surgeon actually recommended that, just so I don't otherwise you can have a big reaction to it, even if you're not celiac. I'm not. But yeah, I choose gluten-free 99% of the time. Unless a pastry attacks me. When a pastry attacks you, you just got to run with it. When pastries attack. I'm helpless in the grip of the attacking pastry. So I'm going to make a mix of russet brown and black and brown for the dark brown on the staff here. I'm going to add driftwood as suggested. I like adding driftwood brown to russet. It makes a really pretty color. Okay, it's a seed. But greens are technically... all of it has the similar makeup. Like as far as the protein and fiber and etc. Yeah, it's still an errand when it happens on a day where I really wanted to get my Patreon PDF done and get it out of the way, Richard, because I want to have all this weekend to work on my book. I want to make this very much a writing weekend, as far as I don't want to be working on Patreon stuff this weekend. I'm not going to win Nano, but I still want to get some good progress done on the book this weekend. Yeah, utter madness. People hitting each other with frozen turkeys. Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah, Nara says, pretty much. All right, so the fact that black and brown has so much black in it means that my drop of driftwood really kind of went for naught here. I wanted to lighten it up a little bit, but I'll put another one in. Maybe 2. Well, we'll see how I can fit it in. We'll see how I can fit stuff in. All right, so this makes this a little bit of a kind of a muted brown. The driftwood has a grayish tone, and so it does take the saturation down a level on the brown. But since it's a neutral and it's a dark brown, that doesn't really matter, unlike with other colors. There are medical diagnoses, and some of it's genetically linked, Pendrake, but I don't remember if there's actually a DNA test for celiac, or if they just essentially run you through like an allergen kind of slate of things. WKRP in Cincinnati. Oh my God, flashbacks to my childhood. So, and when I do the glowy effect here, when we do the spell effect stuff, I'll make the head of the snake glowing over here too. I'm just going to paint it all in brown first though. Doing the glow effect on the snake staff also will, make it clear that it's magic, and it'll allow us to actually bring out some of the details on the snake's head. But yeah, I don't remember if there's a test for whether you're celiac. Usually you just are having terrible health problems that totally resolve themselves when you remove wheat from your diet. But I'm not sure how they test for it. They do think it's like genetically related to Crohn's, which is what they thought I might have. But it's like, it's all autoimmune, I think. It's that kind of stuff. But yeah, it can get pretty serious if you have celiac and you don't realize it and you keep eating gluten. Yeah, it does really look like Ed. Tom could do really good likenesses. I figured out a Christmas present for David, but it's cheap and it's not miniatures related, so I'm still thinking about ideas. So I need to order some of my... There's this wonderful, if you like chocolate mint, look for chocolate mint rooibos tea if you like uncaffeinated teas. There's Artful Tea in Santa Fe, which is one of the shops I always stop in when I'm in Santa Fe. They do a chocolate mint rooibos. It tastes like Christmas, I swear. And so it's getting around that time of year, so I had to put in an order. But they also have a peach rooibos that David loves, and he's totally forgotten about. So I'm going to order him a nice tin of that. But I feel like I want a second Christmas present for him, and I don't know what I want to do. There are tests for celiacs. Oh, you have to be eating gluten for the test to work? Yes, it's no fun. Oh, yuck. Ew. Yeah, no thanks. That just sounds bad, Carrie-Michael. They need better tests. Alrighty. Now, to get this brown... Oh, I missed a spot. And I need to get that pouch. Yeah, that sounds like a nightmare, Pendrake. I used to work holidays at the mall when I was in retail, which is when I was in college. I worked retail jobs usually. And I didn't really care if I worked like Black Friday or Christmas Eve. Because I usually, on Christmas, I would just drive home that day. Because it was only an hour, so I'd just leave early in the morning. But yeah, I've worked plenty of retail holidays, and it's can be pretty nightmarish. Oh yeah. Yeah, they do. Only rules out celiac if neither of two genes are present. Blood test looks for antigens after loading up on gluten, right? Yeah. Yeah, that seems like a less than ideal way to detect. So it's polygenic then if they're looking at two genes. Interesting. Alrighty. Got that. Let's block in some of this stuff. Oh, there's little bone hands coming out right here. I missed them. I missed the tiny bone hands. I must remedy that situation. Little bone hands. So cute. So cute. Okie dokie. Let's get some of this brown down on here. We're just going to paint it just so I can get... I'm at the point where I want to get the primer off of the model. I want to be able to see it. We'll work a lot of different... this is a very smooth earth base. We'll probably work more texture into it as we go, but... or at least suggest texture with brush strokes. But we also need to putty this probably around the edges, so I'm not going to do any work around. I am going to pop paint over it, but once I get my Reaper order, I can pop it on a base and we can figure out how it's going to fit. Because they forgot, I know, right, Inara? Although, to be fair, when you have to buy a lot of gifts for a lot of people, it's easy to forget, like, one person, right? And then you freak out. Yeah, right, Turgeon, exactly, right? Yeah, it just seems like a less than... They forgot it was Christmas. Ugh. Who knows? Very self-absorbed. Doesn't really care about holidays. Has a subconscious hatred of Christmas, and so mentally makes an effort to not think about it until they suddenly realize they owe somebody a gift. Oh, that's funny, Kuriko. That's pretty awesome, though, that your till's turned off, like, automatically, because then it's like, you know, nobody can bully you into, like, sitting there and waiting on them. It's like, sorry, my till doesn't work. You should have gotten here before the freaking last minute, people. Sometimes it doesn't work out. Sometimes procrastination is not your friend. Let's get this dark earthy shadow in there between his little head and his little hands. Get those little hands. There we go. It's being real. Got very little paint on my brush, and the paint's pretty thin, so the capillary action works for me when I'm outlining these little tiny hands. That's your excuse to ever. All the staff cheered. I love it. Yep. What is it? Poor organization on your part does not constitute an emergency on mine. That's my friend Vanessa's favorite saying. Yeah, right. Yep, and alright, yep, there will be those people. I just don't get it. I never have gotten it. Like, I was a procrastinator, and I still don't get it. I was never that procrastinate. Like, I would then procrastinate, okay, how much time do I need to make this turkey? Okay, I will procrastinate up until that point. But I wouldn't expect to find a non-frozen turkey. But I have gotten over my procrastination habit happily. If I hadn't, I would never be able to do the Patreon. There we go. We'll get little dude up here and get his earth done. But yeah, holidays, oof. Enough said, really. Yeah, I really have to figure out if I'm getting David anything else. My CrossFit workout last night, I found an app. I don't know if I told you guys. It's a workout of the day generator for CrossFit. It's pretty awesome. It lets me, its subscription is very small, and it tracks my workouts, and it'll generate a smart workout of the day based on equipment that I say I have or don't have. And then it will let me focus on specific movements if I want, or it'll just try to give me a rounded workout. The downside of the workout of the day generator is that sometimes it is a masochist or a sadistic bastard. Oh, yeah, Inara. Yep. I'm sure that's a thing. People don't read the fine print. But yeah, last night, my workout of the day generator was a sadist, and it said, here is a 45-minute workout. After I'd done 15 minutes of warm-up, by the way. So I ended up doing CrossFit for an hour. And usually my CrossFit class is an hour, but it's like there's a pause between the cardio section and the weight section. Like there are pauses, right? This was like a 45-minute reps, like keep going kind of like thingy. It was a lot. It was a lot. Yeah, personalized torture. Exactly, Carnico. Oh yeah, Richard, exactly. Can you microwave a whole frozen turkey? But yeah, it was 45 minutes, and it was all doable. Some of it was easier than others. It was a lot of carry stuff, so I had to carry. I used all my stuff. I've also stolen David's dumbbells that he has never used once in all the time I have known him. He's like, it's my dumbbell set now. He's like, it's our dumbbell set. And I'm like, when did you last use this? He's like, aww. No, I did it. I did it, Pendrake. I did the full 45 minutes after, like, I had like 83 zone minutes. I burned 500 calories on this workout last night. With the benefit that I did not gain weight after eating a really, really rich and tasty duck dinner. Also a lot of snacks yesterday. You know, Arrowiz, he is going on the hike with my CrossFit people on Friday. But he's like, we talked about it, and he's like, the thing is that he's not motivated, like for me, the fact that it's difficult is actually kind of fun and a challenge. Like, I feel like really good when I finish a workout because it's hard, right? It's not easy. And I enjoy that. Like, it makes me really happy to be getting stronger. It makes me really happy to be able to do stuff without, like, panting. But David already suffers from, has a high level, like a naturally high level of fitness. His genetics, like, I just want to punch him. Seriously. I've been doing CrossFit for 4 months, and the only thing I can beat him on now is lifting heavy things. Like, I'm getting to the point where he watched me just grab his air compressor, one-armed, and put it up in the cabinet, and his eyes bugged out. He's like, that's heavy! I'm like, yeah. 100-pound deadlift. It was awesome. But that was probably the most awesome moment. Yeah, that's what I'm going to try to get him to do, Airwiz, is try to get him to, like, use some of my equipment, right? Teach him the moves and do that. Right, exactly. Yeah, and hills are like that kind of thing. People who like hit the really steep hills, that's what you get out of it, right? Plus it does increase your cardio fitness. But David likes it to be challenging but not too difficult. Like he's Kiki. He and Kiki are the same. Because if it's too easy, Kiki doesn't have any interest. But if it's too hard, she's totally like, nope. It has to be that sweet spot in the middle. That's David with fitness. Yeah, exactly. But, well, and CrossFit last night kind of broke me too. By the end, I was like, oh, what was it? There was a particular, it was high steps. So because I don't have a lot of equipment, the workout was like doing a farmer's carry of a heavy weight, alternating arms, and then doing a 200-meter run, and then doing high steps, so high knees. So like you're really lifting your knees up really high, and then an offset dumbbell carry, so like hit off on one side, so kind of like the farmer's carry, but up here. And then the last thing was bear crawl. It was to the last round of high knees, and my knees were not high. I was like, it was so hard to lift my knees after 45 minutes. I was like, oh my God. Oh. Beat Saber, yeah. I used to do DDR, Dance Revolution. I really liked DDR. I wasn't very, like, I couldn't go above, like, medium level. I was never really good. David's pretty good at it. Yeah. Right. He's got naturally good cardio and endurance. This is where he will like speed walk a hike and he will hardly be breathing hard. Like it's just like I said, he's like these genes. You just want to kick them. You do. These people with the genes. I have to work my butt off to get decent cardio. Yeah. Right, Kurtiko, exactly. Kiki likes puzzle toys as long as they're easy enough. But if they're not easy enough, then it's pick it up and smash it on the ground. Yeah, I really like DDR too. Some versions better than others. We had a dance mat when I was at my old house because they had an Xbox. All right, so we've at least got that blocked in, and the hanky is going to stay a hanky for now since we haven't decided its ultimate fate or where I'm going to cut it off, because I need to be able to drill into it if I'm going to do a wires around a skull. But yeah, David's just not fair. Like, it's just, and his dad's the same way. His dad, I don't think, like, they bike and they hike, although they don't hike as much anymore because his mom has plantar fasciitis. But that's, his dad is just, like, naturally fit. Like, has a high natural level of fitness. It's just obnoxious. All right, I'm going to do a bit of lining here around the skull to bring it out a little bit more. It's obnoxious, isn't it, Kiki? Isn't it? I know. It is. Mama's got to work so hard. She does. Yes. It's okay, though. I like to work hard, Kiki. Yeah, Mama likes to work hard. She's the person in this household who likes to work hard. You're a good girl. Kiki visitation. Sorry, Minnie is going back and forth because I'm scruffling the Kiki. Yeah, hi there, baby girl. Yeah, you've got about 10 or 15 minutes left, Keeker. 10 or 15 minutes, little Bubba. Yeah. You're a good girl. Boom. All right. Sorry, I missed a spot. All right, now let's line around this. I left a bit of the primer shadow around it, but it could use a little bit more, so yeah, so I've been good. I actually have been making myself do the CrossFit even though my gym is closed. I just can't wait for my weights to come so I can put a weight component in the workout like we do at the gym. Make sure the eyes are all blacked in. So now I've got that. Get him doing weights. I'll see what I can do, Arrow is. I mean, he at least needs to do something. He does bike to work, but yeah, weights would be a good add to his routine. Maybe I'll just have to get him to come out and do them with me. Although he can probably lift more than me. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'll get him to try Tim's intro class. The CrossFit intro. And then he can decide, because it'll be hard. But it'll also tell him if it's for him or not. Yeah, that's what I told him. It'll help his skiing. And that's the only time he's like thought, oh, maybe I should, you know. Because I'm continually worried that he'll hurt himself one of these years because his core is just weak. Like, you shouldn't be doing double black diamond runs on, you know, skiing on mountainsides if your core is like a crappy sits at a computer all day core, right? Although he does use a balance board at work and he does use a standing desk, but I don't know how often he uses them. So he's at least doing, you know, at least not sitting all day. But I worry because I'm a worrier. All right, I'm going to try to highlight that little bone skull on Ed and see if I can get it to look decent in this last few minutes. And I think I want my brown liner a little bit. Just to make a little bit of a darker shadow. But yeah. He's like in his 40s. He should be looking at the coming years and making a plan of action. But, you know, it is his health. It's his life. I can suggest, but I'm not going to nag him. It doesn't work. Ah, okay. Yeah, I wondered about that. If the master alpaca was going to be on or not, since we hadn't heard from him. Since he dumped a raid on us and left. Ran away. So I'm going to do a little bit of shadow here where the dome of the skull comes out. Just to bring out more detail there. Yeah, we'll be looping back around to Undead Mousy when we come back on Monday. Just to show you guys, we're getting there. We're getting there. We're making his armor glow, and his sword looks cool. So he's almost done. Mousy's almost done, and then we can work on his partner, the Undead Hunter mouse or the Gate Warden mouse. But I hope my Reaper order gets here like sometime soon because I'm at the point where I want to glue Ed down on a base and actually start, you know, get Mr. Bones here ahead of him, so that we can paint the thing properly, putty in some areas, put a little bit more texture on here. Probably we'll use green stuff to do some more texture on this base because it's so smooth. And I would like to see a little bit more, maybe just patches of moss or something. I don't know, like that. Let me grab and I had to mix up my white here. Yes, get your sleep so you can recover, for sure, Kuro. I have to walk the Kiki, eat lunch, and run to the grocery store, and then hope I can finish stuff this afternoon. Oh, bye, Crowley. Borked. Yes, exactly, borked. Yes, happy Thanksgiving all. You know, Prowley, it's getting to the point where it's just seeing your name in the chat is going to remind Quindy to check that filter. Or that setting. The free setting. Now we're going to highlight little bits of the skull so that we can make it stand out. Yes, have a great Thanksgiving. Everybody who's here in America. Little skull. So taking the shadows down. Yeah, I'm not done yet, but yeah, happy Thanksgiving, Turgeon, if you're running off. Oh, yeah. If John's forgotten to close it out, yep. Danger. Oh, come on, where's the bottom part of that skull thingy? There. Uh-oh, bork time. Enough. Enough. Yeah, good girl. You're fine. We're fine. It's nothing big. No, it's nothing big. It's nothing big. Hi, big alert dog. Big watchdog. Yeah, I'm sure it's nothing. I'm sure it's nothing. Totally. Kiki, that's enough. Keeks. Come on. Enough. Quiet, settle down. We're fine. It's fine. No! If you don't listen, then you get a no. If you double don't listen, you get exiled. There we go. So we got that amulet actually showing up decently. The key is really to take it down with more shading and then to bring it up with pops of highlight. Here's our little skull. Not too bad. I think that top part got a little dwarfy. Boop, boop. There we go. Better. There, little Reaper skull. Cute. If she really won't stop, Richard. Usually after my first two, she'll settle. And if I have to bring out the no, then it's like, oh, sorry, Mom. She's getting a little better about it. Like, one of our neighbors is watching her daughter's little yappy dog, and Kiki has totally ignored that, which is nice. Kiki, I want you to settle down. Yeah, I want you to settle. Yep. Settle. Fuzzbutt. There we go. And then we get a little bit of highlight on the sleeves here with the same bone highlight color. Bubba, I've got to finish the stream, Bubba. You just have to settle. Yeah, we're going to go on our walk soon. We are. Yeah. There we go. So as we fill out everything, we're getting a better sense of how the model looks from afar. Once again, if I cover up the hanky, we can see the color composition now, which is a good color composition, I think. The skin tone definitely does draw your eye because it's warmer. The fact that the bone is at the top of the model for the most part helps to draw the eye upward. So that's a good. If I really wanted to, I could like maybe make a bone in the inside of the cowl here bone color, but I think I want to actually take it down more toward black so that his head really stands out. His face. So I want to make sure that the inside of this cloth is really down to black all around his head. Which is essentially at this point is just lining between his hair and the cloth. Yeah, I think that's going to look great. All right, cool. Next time we'll probably work on bone a bit more. Hopefully I'll have the base by then so that we can work on the basing. We'll do a green stuff day on him at some point in the future. There we go. A little bit of bone highlight there. Alrighty. There we go, folks. Let's just call it there, and everybody can get to their day of Thanksgiving prep or Thanksgiving laziness before the day of Thanksgiving prep, i.e. Thanksgiving proper. And anybody in Europe, I hope you just have a lovely rest of the week, as we are not going to be streaming here for tomorrow and Friday. I will be doing my personal stream on twitch.tv/paintingbig on Saturday at about 3:30 USA Central Standard Time. Just for fun, we'll probably work on, I don't know, we'll work on Crystal Dragon, or maybe we'll finally just work on finishing the base on Anubis so that I can actually say that I finished a model this year. We might do that. I might be up for it. All right. Thanks, everybody. I hope you have a lovely holiday if you're in a holiday type of nation, and otherwise, just have a great week. All right. Thanks, Quindy, for herding L cats, and I'll see you. Bye.